Hi there, Victoria again from JSI, here to show you how to assemble a Lazy Susan. When opening the box, you just want to be sure to open the sides first. And then opening the top, you just want to lift so that you don't scratch any of the parts. Now that your box is open, you just want to be sure to check the parts for any damages. If you do notice any damages, just be sure to contact your dealer. Now that we've inspected all of our parts, we're going to start with our face frame. Notice that our face frame comes in 2 parts. I'm using our styrofoam to lay it down just to avoid any scratching. So now that we've got our 2 frames, we're just going to line them up together so that they're flush. We've got 2 pre-drilled holes on this side, and we've got 2 on that side. We're going to take our 1-inch flathead screws and put them in place. For a quick tip, you can actually reverse the screw a couple times just to avoid any tension on the wood, to avoid the frame from cracking. And now that we've got our frame together, we can just put this aside for later. We're going to grab our bottom panel and lay that down on the styrofoam. Our next step, we're going to install our turntable into our bottom panel. We're going to need one of our boxes for the turn piece, also known as a swivel. Our bottom panel, we've got 8 half-inch round head screws and a turntable. We're going to take our turn piece. We're just going to turn this here so you can see the 8 screw holes. We want this center hole to match up with this hole right here. And we're going to take a pencil, you can use the eraser side, just to help us line it up. Now that we've got our turn piece in place, we just want to make sure that this round hole is open. And we're going to turn this a little bit just so that we can screw our holes into place. And now that we've got our turn piece into place, we're just going to put this aside for a minute. We're going to take our turntable, we want to lay that down, and we just want to make sure that this hole is facing up. We're going to take our bottom panel, and we're going to turn it upside down. Gently, we want to line this hole up with the hole that's facing upwards on that turntable. And we can use our pencil to help guide us through. So we're just going to slide it on there, just so that the 2 holes line up. For this part, you have the option of putting the pencil back. This helps us assure that the holes are lined up while we screw our turn piece into place. We're going to use this hole as our seeing spot, and we're going to take our half-inch round head screws and screw it right into place. So now we're just going to want to rotate our bottom panel, and we're going to put pressure to the middle just so that everything stays lined up until we find our other screw hole, and we're going to screw it into place. Now that we've got 2 screws secured, we can take our pencil out, and we're going to continue rotating to screw in the other holes. Now that we've set aside our first turntable, we're going to take our shelf that houses our next turntable. For this step, we need our shelf, we need our other turn piece, 8 of our half-inch round head screws, and our other turntable. Using our pencil again, we're going to put it through the hole of the turn piece and line it up with the smaller hole on the shelf. Just be sure to keep that larger hole open. Keeping our pencil on the center just to make sure everything stays in place, we're going to screw our turn piece into the shelf. And for our 4th screw, just to be sure that it secures the turn piece to the shelf. We're going to push our shelf to the side just for a moment while we take our turntable. We want to make sure that that hole is facing up. We're going to take our pencil, put it through the hole of the back of the shelf, and we're just going to line that pencil up with the hole of the turntable. Now that we've got our shelf in place, we're just going to line that hole up with our screw holes. We're going to use our last 4 screws and screw the rest of the turn piece in place. Now that we've installed both of our turntables, we're going to put those aside for later. We can move on to assembling the cabinet box now. And now we're going to grab our side panel, and we're going to have the shelf support facing us, and we're just going to lay this down. Next, we're going to take our wood glue and start 3/4 of the way here, and slide it all the way down on both sides. Now we're going to grab our bottom panel, and we're going to put it to the bottom of the cabinet. Notice right here we've got it cut out for our toe kick. We're going to line up our grooves and slide it into place. We're going to take our top panel, we're going to line up the groove, and we're going to slide it into place. Now that we've got our top and bottom panels in place, we're going to go to our back side panel. We're going to apply glue to these two grooves and the glue at the bottom of the cabinet. And now we're going to line up our grooves with our top and bottom, and we're just going to slide it into place. Next, we're going to grab our face frame, and we're going to place it down. We're going to line these cuts up. If we want it as a left hinge, we're going to line them up with our left side panel that we've got down now. And if we want our right hinge, we're going to flip our face frame over, and we're going to line these cuts up with our right side panel. We're just going to apply glue. This groove here. Got another one here. This side. We're going to tilt it down and apply glue here and here. Now that our glue is applied, we're just going to line our face frame up with our cabinet. Now that we've got our frame in place, we're going to lift our cabinet up, and we're going to line our edges up with the grooves. Now that we've got the inside still exposed, we're going to take our L brackets and secure them. We're going to take off our piece of paper and use our double-sided tape just to stick that right into the corner. We're going to use our 1/2" flathead screws just to secure our L brackets into place. Now that we've got this L bracket in place, we're going to secure one on the opposite side. Now we're going to take our other front side panel, we're going to apply glue into this groove on this side, glue on this side, and then the groove on our face frame. We're going to line it up with the grooves, and now we're just going to push it into place. Next, we're going to secure our L brackets. I'm going to place it in the corner and take our 1/2" flathead screws and screw it into place. And now that we've got our L bracket in place, we're just going to apply another one to the opposite side. And next, we're going to grab our side back panel. We're going to apply glue into this groove, and then we're going to apply it into the groove that's on the other front panel. And once we've lined our grooves up, we're just going to slide the panel right into place. Now we're going to take our shelf with the turntable. Just be sure that your edge banded is in the front and on top, and we're going to install it into the Lazy Susan. Now we're going to install the shelf inside the Lazy Susan, and just an idea, it is easier, I find it easier, to install it through the back. We just want to make the shelf sit on the support beams. And now we're going to take our 1" flathead screws and screw 3 into one side. Then we're going to screw the other 3 into the other side. We're going to take our back panel. We want to make sure that that finished edge is on the inside. And we're going to push that right into place. We're going to take our 1" flathead screws and drill it into our 3 pre-drilled holes that we have on each side. We've got 3 on this side and 3 on that side. Next, we're going to secure our back panel and our front panel with our L brackets. We're going to place those down, take our 1/2" flathead screws, and screw the L brackets into place. Now that we've got this side panel and back panel secure, we're going to do the same on the opposite side. Next we're going to take our two pieces of toe kick and we're going to connect them to each other. Before we connect them to each other, we're just going to take our L brackets. With this toe kick, we've got pre-drilled holes. We're going to go opposite of the pre-drilled holes. We want to put our plastic corner bracket right at the edge, make it flush. Using our 1/2-inch flathead screws, we're going to screw it into place. I'm taking 1/2 of our toe kick. We're going to line it up, just making sure that that's flush. Using our 1/2-inch flathead screws, we're going to screw it in place. Now we're going to grab our other piece. See this cut that lays right on top of it? And we're going to make sure that this end is flush. We're going to take our 1/2-inch flathead screws. I'm going to screw it into place. I'm going to hold both toe kicks together. I'm going to take our 1-inch flathead screws and screw them in place. Now we're going to attach our hinges. We're going to take our outer door and our outer hinge. I'm going to clip this metal piece right under here and push down, and you'll hear it click into place. I'm going to do the same with the other one. And now we're going to connect this hinge into this door so that we can connect both doors to each other. Once we've got them in place, we're going to use our 1/2-inch flathead screws and just lock those hinges down. Now that we've installed the door-to-door hinges, we're going to install the door-to-frame hinges. We're going to line them up with the pre-drilled holes. And using our 1/2-inch flathead screws, we're going to secure them into place. Now that our hinges are attached, we're going to connect our door to our cabinet. Notice that there are 2 holes here. We're going to go with the back hole, and we're going to drill them right into the pre-drilled holes inside the cabinet. We're now taking our 3/4 inch round head screws. We're just going to attach the hinges to the cabinet. Last but not least, we're going to apply our bumpers. Apply one on the top corner of our outer door, top corner of our inner door, and the bottom corner of both doors as well. And that's our final product of a Lazy Susan.